Welcome to more Fanime. What's up, everybody? Today I'm gonna be reviewing chapter 1090 of the One Piece manga. Today it has been dropped, it has been translated, and I am elated because it's fantastic. It's great to see Kizaru kicking ass, taking names, showing a little bit of character development for the guy. Loving it. The chapter cover is a fan request of our boy Kuro from the East Blue, a villain from way back at the Syrup Village arc. He was he's reading a book along with some black kitties, and it's just cool to see an East Blue villain. Maybe Oda is just feeling nostalgic with the One Piece live action happening, which it's all based around the East Blue saga. So maybe we'll get more of these. Maybe we'll get a cool Arlong cover or something. Huh? I'd be down. As you know, Arlong is one of the best villains in the entire series, and I'd love to see him again. But this chapter, great. The sad thing is, next week, we have a break week again. And I'm all for Oda having breaks, and I think this is a Shonen Jump break and not his choice. From what I hear, though, after this, we'll be back on the 3 chapters, 1 week off cycle. Back on that. I need it. I need it in my veins, people. Before I get into spoiler territory, if you haven't read chapter 1090, I highly recommend you click off this video and find it, read it, and come on back ski. The chapter kicks off with Luffy talking to the Gorosei, which the 5 elders, which is fucking amazing. I mean, how long has it been since we met the 5 elders? And now Luffy's talking to him on the phone. It's very reminiscent of Fishman Island when Luffy was on the phone with Big Mom, and he's basically telling him, "I'm gonna be the king of the pirates," and all that stuff. And the Gorosei ask him essentially one question: "How many people are still alive? Who are you with?" And Luffy's like, "Well, if you count the injured, there's me." And before he could finish his sentence, Nico Robin and Nami cut him off, like, "Don't tell them anything, Luffy. If you give them information, they can use it against us. We need to keep the few cards we got." And it's true. It's very true. The Gorosei even says, "Is that Nico Robin? I'm curious if that is supposed to mean something." I guess not, but I guess the only one they care about on their crew would be Nico Robin. I would say that if you're going to do a list of the characters on the Straw Hat crew that they want dead, number 1 would be Nico Robin, then Luffy. So maybe Luffy, they're kind of equal. They're both in a territory that the 5 elders do not like. So Nico Robin tells him, which is a good thing. We get to see Nico Robin is alive and well. Well, not well. She is injured. So from what I'm seeing here, during the little 24-hour time skip, Nico Robin got into a battle with somebody, presumably York, and got injured. I would like to see that. Any Nico Robin fight should never be off-screen. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of flashback ski just to see her kicking ass with her dust fluss. That's what I want. But she seems to be injured. I don't think she'll be doing any of the fighting in the rest of this arc, at least. I don't know how long she's going to continue to be injured, but she does not look like she's going to be doing anything of action in a hot minute. At least another arc, at least a trip around the ocean before she can do some action, which is okay. I mean, I would like to see what she did to get injured, but it means she's off the table. She's off the board. We got to focus more on the stronger fighters like Luffy and Sanji and Zoro, Frankie and whatnot. So good to see her alive. We also get to see everybody else is fine, except 2 of the Vegapunks are confirmed to be dead by Lucci in this chapter as well, which is good. We need to start eliminating these Vegapunks, and I'm starting to think that by the end of Egghead Island, there's probably only going to be 1, maybe 2, possibly 3, maximum. I think before the end of Egghead Island, we are going to lose 2 or 3 more Vegapunks. It's bound to happen. I don't think we need to have this many. And then one at a time, we just go boop, 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 goodbye. Let's get back to the main Vegapunk, and that's all we need. Maybe each faction gets their own. Maybe that's the whole story here. Everybody's going to get their own Vegapunk to do their own sciencing. But yeah, from there, we see that Luffy's doing this, Luffy's doing that. We get to see York going, you heard them, they're going to make me into a celestial dragon. You got to listen to them, let me go. It's going to be like Ohara all over again, and they're going to burn this place down. And Nami hits her over the head. It's like, don't you talk about Ohara, you dumb bitch. It's pretty great. Nobody likes York. York is just a little traitor lady that nobody likes, getting her ass beat. I don't know if she's going to escape or what have you, but that's going on. We have Vegapunk and the rest of the crew trying to come up with a plan. Okay, we have 30,000 Marines out there. That's a lot. That's bigger than a Buster Call. That's a lot of motherfuckers out there. So they're just like, what do we do? Where are we going? A lot of Marines. Like, this is just overwhelming numbers. Luffy on his own and the rest of the crew could probably handle Kizaru as a unit. But Kizaru and all of these soldiers could cause an issue, to say the least. So they need to leave. They need to go. They need to get the heck out of Dodge, out of Egghead Island immediately. So Vegapunk says, well, the Vega Force 1 and your ship are up here in the Labo phase. Good. Bad news is the Vega Force 1 can only fly within the area of Egghead Island for some reason, based on like the atmosphere or something. So we can't just dip out by flying away. That's not going to work. But Frankie, the smart boy he is, super recommends that Vega Force 1 flies them as far as it can, and then last minute they Koopa de burst their way out of here. They fly the Thousand Sunny as far away as possible and get the wind ahead of them so the Marines can't find them, which is a good plan. It's not a bad plan. I can imagine it in my head. They're flying with their giant iron giant robot, and then he flies off of them, and then the Sunny and the rest of the crew and everybody who's on it gets away. My question is, who's going to be operating the giant robot? Do they have to stay behind? Will it operate on its own? Is a Vegapunk going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice and remain behind and be captured? Could be anybody. Maybe they make York do it, but then York could betray them like she did already. Not going to be her. But Vegapunk does tell Lilith, you're in charge of the Vega Force 1, go with Frankie and Luffy and whatnot, and go get the ship, get it ready, get it prepared, let's rock. Luffy's like, let's do it, I'm excited, we got a plan. Bonnie goes with them, and they're running, like, we're going to the ship, this is exciting. But before they leave, Nami mentions, like, well, the thing, the fucking compass thing, can't remember the name off the top of my head for some damn reason, isn't ready yet. It hasn't calculated what island to go to next, but there is this one that's pointing this way, so maybe we'll just go that way. And Vegapunk's like, well, that's actually where Elbaf is. And Luffy and Usopp lose their flippin' mind, along with me. I'm like, wow, we're finally going to Elbaf. We're not just gonna skip on by because Kid already went there. No, we're going. And Oda just basically said to the reader, next stop, Elbaf, unless it's a big trickaroo, a big red herring. Because remember, when we were at Sabaody for the first time, the next stop was Fishman Island. And, 3 islands later, or 3 arcs later, we're finally there. So it took a long time to get to Fishman Island. So it could be one of those things where he's like, we're going to Elbaf, but we end up on a completely different path to save somebody or defeat an evil force of nature, or maybe they end up staying on Egghead Island and fighting this battle against this army. Maybe this is not going to really happen, but I'm hoping and I'm feeling we're on our way to Elbaf. Maybe we'll find out what happened to Kid, if he's alive, what's going on there. So they're on their way to the ship. Good news. They still got York. We find out the Seraphim are in little sea prism bubbles, so they can't escape because they have devil fruit abilities, so they're pretty much neutralized, but they don't look too beat up. They don't look like they got beat up too bad by the Straw Hat crew. It looks like they just got caught, and that's good for now, but once those boys, or these little creature robot kids, clone psycho machine killing machines get freed, then what? We find out that Luffy convinced Hancock to free Frankie and everybody, which is great. Did we find that out last chapter? Whatever. We find that out. We see that S-Hawk is pissed that they got captured. S-Shark and S-Bear are just kind of chilling, very calm. But it's cool that they can talk. I didn't realize that the Seraphim could talk. They had personalities. It's interesting that Hancock still is in love with Luffy. So does it tell me that they got the blood from her pre-time skip after she met Luffy? Or is it just built into her DNA that she's going to love Luffy regardless? Kind of weird. Kind of a weird thing to explain as well, and kind of a weird way for them to beat the Seraphim is the love that the S-Snake has for Luffy. Whatever, it works. I mean, I hope we don't get a full blown out flashback of what happened during the 24-hour time skip, but I don't even, you don't have to explain it all. Just give me little tidbits. Well, Bonnie is running with Luffy and Frankie and Lilith on their way to get the Vega Force 1 and the fucking Thousand Sunny. She mentions, maybe we should bring some of them pizzas. They're pretty great. And Luffy's like, don't worry, we'll be fine. Just grab some cheese. Sanji will make us some pizzas. Bonnie is like, whoa, Sanji's not only a good fighter, but a great cook. What a man. And I'm not sure if it's just a weird translation because of the fan translation compared to the Shonen Jump translation that comes out this Sunday. But I wonder what's going on there. Maybe Sanji-Bonnie relationship? I think not. But she's gone up in his book. A lot of people are saying that maybe Bonnie is not really Bonnie because she's acting weird. She's not acting like she normally does. Even Luffy in this chapter is like, what are you doing, Bonnie? Why are you so excited and happy now when yesterday you were crying? It's like, I was not crying. So there is a chance that she could be not the Bonnie we remember. She could end up being the Blackbeard pirate Karina Devon. Is that the name? Either way, the lady who can transform with the nine-tailed fox devil fruit ability, that would be not so but so. But I will say one thing I would like to know. What the frick Bonnie saw in Kuma's memories, one, and what the frick is going on with Kuma back at the red line. Why aren't we checking in on that? Come on, Oda, give me the meat and potatoes that I want to eat. Give me the candy. Give me it all, baby. We cut back to the Marines, and this is like I was telling you before. They're listening to what's going on through Lucci, who's secretly giving them information, and in the background of most of this chapter, he's just like, yeah, and there's 2 of them are dead, and 4 Vegapunks are still alive, and the Straw Hat crew, 2 of them are injured or whatever, but everybody's still alive. He's telling them what's going on. Why aren't they keeping an eye on old Luch Dog? What did Lucci do in the battle against the Seraphim that made them trust him so much? I mean, Kaku is on his deathbed, essentially, recovering. He's all bandaged up, and he feels bad that he lost, but he did fight 2 Seraphim, which is kind of badass if you think about it. Somebody like Kaku dueling it out with 2 Seraphim. I am assuming he got saved by Zoro or something last minute, but he is out for the count. Just like I mentioned earlier, Nico Robin being out of action for the rest of this arc, I'm going to say that Kaku is also out of action for the rest of this arc. But Kaku's looking over at Lucci going like, what are you saying? He's like, oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. But no, he's telling the Marines the scenario that they need to worry about. And Kizaru's sitting there going like, Luffy's acting like he's got all the cards in the deck. But the real truth is they're like a cornered mouse. And we're going to go get them. We're going to get them where they're our prey. And so before Kizaru talks to Saturn's talking to one of the vice admirals, talking about our main goals are, we need to get York, we need to get the mother frame materials, we need to protect everything on this island as best as possible. And the vice admiral's like, well, what about all the CP agents and Rob Lucci and Kaku and Stussy and all them? What's going on with them? And he's like, well, human life, Saturn is saying this, human life is kind of like insects. You kill a couple of them, more will take their place. No biggie. They can die. Not good. What is Kaku's plan here? To go back to that guy? Ooh. Or Lucci's plan, actually. And I wonder if Kaku now trusts the Straw Hats because he got saved by them. Maybe Lucci also got saved by them. But the question is Kaku going to follow this traitorous plan to betray the Straw Hat crew? I mean, they have to. It's their job to capture them. What else are they going to do? Turn rogue on the world government while they have their other CP0 agents back at Marie Joie that might not even be alive? Who knows? We don't know what's going on with them. Last time we saw them, they were failing at capturing Vivi. So what is going on here with Rob Lucci? That's my biggest question. Sentomaru is actually pretty badass in this chapter, I'll have to say. I haven't really cared too much for Sentomaru. He's just kind of there. He's kind of always just been there, always overshadowed by better characters like Kizaru. And Sentomaru's chilling there, and he's like, I told you, you stay out of my business, and I won't send the pacifistas after you in the Marines. Kizaru goes up to Saturn, he's like, I gotta take care of Sentomaru first. Saturn's like, why don't you just skip on by, Sentomaru. He's like, I can't. We're former colleagues. I helped train the kid. And he said he's going to put his life on the line to protect Vegapunk. So I got to accept those wishes. So he defies Saturn and says that, well, Sentomaru's a problem. Got to take him out. And I don't even know how Sentomaru's even able to fight after being literally gutted by Rob Lucci not too long ago. And somehow he's ready to rock again. I know he got some food and whatnot, and this is a shonen anime, but come on. But Sentomaru is ready to rock and ready to fight. So Kizaru tells Saturn, I could probably slip through the Labo phase because I am also made of light. And he zips on by. He does that crazy light mirror technique where he just zoo, 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 and reflects himself off of mirrors and whatnot and gets himself directly towards the Labo phase. But before he can make it there, Sentomaru catches him off guard or blocks the attack. And he's like, you gotta realize I have the ultimate defense. Question about that is he blocks the kick that he comes in with, the light speed kick that Kizaru comes with. And Sentomaru's like, I'm ultimate defenses. And it's like, well, you got your ass handed to you by Rob Lucci. And you were taken out by one attack. So I don't think you do, buddy. And I like to think that Kizaru is stronger than Rob Lucci. We'll just have to see what happens here. I mean, Nico Robin's hurt. So is Nico Robin going to get captured? Is there some reason why she's the only one that's really hurt? There's got to be a reason Oda made it particularly Nico Robin. Oh yeah, and the last thing is, Kizaru bounces in, we go back to Luffy and the squad, and they're about to get on the Thousand Sunny, and Luffy's like, whoa, big power's coming, and I'm assuming he's talking about Kizaru, but at the same time, I'm like, it could be anybody. It could be some other badass showing up. I'm hoping it's Kizaru, because he is really powerful. Maybe Luffy is going to be the one to take down Kizaru. I'm starting to think that could be what's going to happen. Or maybe it'll be a team effort. But if anybody's going to take him down, it might need to be Gear 5th Luffy. Luffy needs to prove that he can handle the admirals. So he proved that he can take down an emperor. Now it's time to take down an admiral. Baby! I'm not saying Kizaru is stronger than Big Mom or Kaido. But he's up there. He's in that range. He's strong as shiz. Fast as shiz. Once he takes care of Sentomaru, is Luffy going to be willing to just leave Sentomaru to die? Is Luffy going to be willing to do that? I don't think so. And remember back at Dressrosa when Luffy's like, I'm not running from you admirals no more, to Fujitora. And it's like, we're going to fight. And I'm going to be king of the pirates, motherfucker. That could happen here. Luffy can prove himself here against Kizaru, a guy that really wrecked the shit of the worst generation back at Sabaody, and really prove himself as an emperor of the sea. That could be what we're leading to here. I do hope the Straw Hat crew gets away, of course. I don't think this war is just going to happen here on Egghead Island. Now that I'm thinking about it, when I was mentioning earlier that everybody might get their own Vegapunk, maybe Black Karina Devon or whatever is going to slip in and slip out and capture one of the Vegapunks that they don't need. Not necessarily York. Maybe York. Maybe Blackbeard takes York. He kind of needs some leverage. He's got Garp, sort of, but I'm not sure if he knows that. Capturing a Vegapunk, especially someone that he might have just tapped into and heard is priority to save and bring back to Marijois, being York, would not be a bad idea. I'm starting to think that maybe Blackbeard's goal here on Egghead Island might be to capture a Vegapunk, or the Vegapunk. So maybe the main Stella Vegapunk could be captured, but I'm thinking Blackbeard might get his own little Vegapunk here. It might be a Vegapunk bargain sale. Very soon. We don't really get to see Zoro do much. You don't really get to see Chopper do much. Don't really get to see Sanji do much. This was a very Kizaru focused. Sentomaru got some badassery. Saturn's an ass hat and a half. It's treating life like insects. That's kind of it. My prediction for next week is Kizaru's going to get some badassery moments, I hope. I hope he takes down a lot of people. I hope none of this is off-screened. I'm sick of, not only am I sick of one-shot battles where it's like one attack and the fight's over, looking at you, Kid and Shanks, or fights that are like halfway shown in the manga and then they cut away and they come back and the fight's over, looking at you, Law, and Blackbeard. Or they just completely time skip over the entire fight, and that's looking at the Seraphim. And I'm fine with that because I really didn't care about that fight. But seeing Kizaru in a battle, I want to see a Kizaru flashback. That's what I want. More than anything is some more Kizaru history. Because I feel like that guy's got some history that we all want to know. I want to see what that guy's all about. He stood up to Saturn in this chapter telling him, no, I'm going to fight Sentomaru. He wants to put his life on the line. I'm doing it. It would go against my ideals if I don't go fight him. And even Sentomaru's like, bring it on, uncle. Oh, yeah. So they're going to fight it out. They are. But Sentomaru doesn't stand a chance. He barely was able to come back from a fight with Rob Lucci. And also, Rob Lucci, again, what is his plan here? Is he really going to go back to the world government? Also, we get to see all the CP agents that were captured by York finally eating, and very thankful to the Straw Hat crew. Oh, Vivi's in this chapter. Very quickly, Vivi's just like, what is going on? Luffy's taking the Vegapunk's ransom? I mean, all these things that Big News Morgan is saying is true. Oh! I'm just happy to see Vivi back in the main chapters and the current timeline right now. I want Vivi to join the Straw Hat crew permanently. The princess returns. The return of Vivi. Vivi bonding with Nico Robin. All those things I want to see. I want to see it. Maybe, wouldn't it be crazy? Nico Robin gets captured at the end of Egghead Island, taken by either the world government or the Blackbeard pirates. And then Vivi rejoins. So then we still don't get to see Vivi and Nico Robin interact until we save her again. But I hope not. I don't want to see Nico Robin be the damsel in distress anymore. She's a badass. She doesn't need that being placed on her any longer. Yeah, good chapter. Say the least, good chapter. Seeing Kizaru kicking ass, using his techniques that are always badass. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we're finally fighting admirals, man. We're seeing what the admirals can do. After all these chapters, we're finally seeing what they can do. I mean, who's left is our boy Lava Guy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head for some reason, but whatever. Lava Face back at Marine headquarters, just chilling there, doing nothing. But Kizaru and Akiji just doing the Lord's work here. This is more Fanime. What do you think of chapter 1090? What do you think's next? Really? Because it's so hard to predict. This arc has been all over the place, and I'm loving it, and it's entertaining, but I kind of hope that the next arc is straightforward. Straightforward, we get to see all the fights, nothing's off-screened, we get to see all the mysteries resolved, but also the story can never end, because I can't live without One Piece, and new chapters are amazing. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later.